Today, I'll give you a dictation with a speed of 100 WPM. 500 words will be provided on marriage and 500 words will be provided on pension and gratuity. So be ready, guys. I'll start my dictation after 5 seconds. This appeal has been filed under Section 28 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 against the judgment and decree dated 9/1/1998 passed by the Additional District Judge number 1, Bharatpur, in Civil Miscellaneous Case number 14 of 1996, dismissing the application submitted by the appellant under Section 13 of the Dissolution of the Marriage. The brief facts giving rise to this appeal are that the marriage between the appellant husband and the respondent wife took place on 3/12/1992, and it is urged in the petition that on or before 21/2/1993, the respondent wife tried to pour kerosene oil on herself to emulate but was prevented by the husband appellant with great difficulty. On the next day, that is on 22/2/1993, on information having been sent by the appellant to his in-laws, the brother of the respondent wife and her brother-in-law came and took her to her parental home. It is alleged that the respondent used to behave in an abnormal manner, and it is further alleged that even prior to her marriage, she suffered from mental disorder. In the petition, it was alleged that the appellant made an inquiry and came to know that even prior to the marriage, the respondent wife was being treated for the aforesaid ailment. It was also stated in the petition that the respondent was treated by Dr. Madhuvan Singh in his hospital for the aforesaid purpose. It is submitted that on 17/2/1994, the respondent was taken to the hospital and to look into her ailments. It was impossible for the appellant husband to continue the marriage, and hence, on the grounds mentioned in clause 3 of section 13(1), that the respondent being incurably suffering from mental disorder of unsound mind, the decree for dissolution of marriage was sought by the husband appellant. The respondent filed a reply and denied the allegations. In response, the respondent filed her reply and alleged that the husband appellant used to treat her with cruelty because of the fact that sufficient amount of dowry was not given in the marriage. It was alleged in the reply that husband treated her very badly and even poured kerosene on her body to burn her. She denied that she was mentally unsound or was treated for this ailment. She also submitted that as a result of the marriage, she gave birth to a girl child. It is further alleged that she was subjected to ill treatment on account of having given birth to a girl child and was driven out of her home. It was submitted in the reply that the husband and her in laws told her that she could come back only if she came with rupees 20,000 in cash. She denied that had left her matrimonial home without reasonable cause. In the reply, she stated that she is willing to stay with her husband in case her in laws gave her guarantee of security for her life and that of her child. It was thus prayed the application be dismissed. In the backdrop of this position, now we turn to the facts of the present case. The appellant was under suspension from 15/3/1993 to 21/5/1999. On attaining the age of superannuation, he retired from services of the respondent corporation on 1/1/2000. The learned single judge, after considering the rival contentions, disposed of the writ petition, issuing directions to the respondent corporation to settle the full salary and allowances for the period of suspension. It is clear that what is extracted above from the order of learned single judge that interest on delayed payment of gratuity was denied only on the ground that there was doubt whether the appellant was entitled to gratuity, cash equivalent to leave, etc. In view of divergent opinion of the courts during the pendency of inquiry. The learned single judge, having held that the appellant was entitled for payment of gratuity, was not right in denying the interest on the delayed payment of gratuity, having due regard to Section 7(3) of the Act. It was not the case of the respondent that the delay in the payment of gratuity was due to the fault of the employee and that it had obtained permission in writing from the controlling authority for the delayed payment on that ground. As noticed above, there is a clear mandate in the provisions of Section 7 to the employer for payment of gratuity within time and to pay interest on the delayed payment of gratuity. There is also provision to recover the amount of gratuity with compound interest in case amount of gratuity payable was not paid by the employer in terms of section 8 of the act. Since the employer did not satisfy the mandatory requirements of the proviso to section 7(3), no discretion was left to deny the interest to the appellant on belated payment of gratuity. Unfortunately, the division bench of the High Court, having found that the appellant was entitled for interest, declined to interfere with the order of the learned single judge as regards the claim of interest on delayed payment of gratuity only on the ground that the discretion exercised by the learned single judge could not be said to be arbitrary. In the first place, in the light of what is stated above, the learned single judge could not refuse the grant of interest, exercising discretion as against the mandatory provisions contained in Section 7 of the Act. The division bench, in our opinion, committed an error in assuming that the learned single judge could exercise the discretion in the matter of awarding interest and that such a discretion exercised was not arbitrary. In the light of the facts stated and for the reasons aforementioned, the impugned order cannot be sustained. Consequently, it is set aside. The respondent is directed to pay interest at the rate of 10% on the amount of gratuity to which the appellant is entitled from the date it became payable till the date of repayment of the gratuity amount. The appeal is allowed accordingly with cost quantified at rupees 10,000. Stop.